Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I don't know why I start every battle and tournament report by going, hello, my friends, in a weird voice. Maybe I should stop. Maybe it's my thing. Who knows? So, welcome back. It's game one of a tournament report from Chill of the Winterlands. I've been watching a lot of Master Site, which is former US Master Alan Ballard's channel. And I'm enjoying them very much. And I'm learning a lot. But he does one game per battle report, which is also what Caffeinated Warlord from the old Australia. The old Australia. It's going to be one of those reports. From Australia does, and he does that too. And I got to be honest, I quite enjoy the format because it means I can whack a game on and do some painting or whatever while it's playing. And I traditionally, for the last too many years, have just done the whole tournament in a report. Or if it's a 2-day tournament, I do 1 day per report. And if I'm honest, that's because that's what Visibly Riley and Andy 2D6 used to do, who were the big guys back in the day. But Visibly Riley, I think he died, if I'm honest. And Andy 2D6 mostly plays Old World and Age of Sigmar now because, I don't know. He does still play Kings of War. He's still a big thing, in my eyes. But he's not doing Kings of War as much. He's not doing any battle reports anymore, just tournament reports. So, anyway, cut a long story short, we're going to do one game per report. One report per game. This week, for this tournament, which is a 3-game tournament, 2,300 points, let me know what you think. So, Chill of the Winterlands, it's a local tournament to me, hurrah! And it was run by the lovely Dave Barfield, who is the manager of the local Element Games, which opened this year, which is the best friendly local game show in the town I live called Birmingham. I say it's the best, it is the only one. It is still the best, it's great. And Dave is great. I'm a big fan of him. He goes by the nickname of Iron Skull. Is your thing. And anyway, so long story short, I've already gone on for a long time, let's face it. He couldn't TO it on the day. He had some personal stuff come up. And so I TO'd it as well as playing in it. It was a 16-player tournament at Board in Brum, which is a pretty dingy venue. Not in Birmingham. It says it's in Brum. Brum is short for Birmingham, if you don't know. It's actually in Walsall. In the industrial estate in Walsall. It's very nice venue inside. It has lots and lots of tables. Got there and found that there was an old world tournament with less players than us that had stolen all the good terrain. But just as well, I'd thrown a bunch of terrain in my boot just in case, right? So we used my terrain instead. However, they don't, it's not my favourite venue, I've got to be honest. No offence to the Board and Brummers, I'm sure you love it, but your toilet is literally a pit of despair, and you don't serve coffee. So that's like, how dare you? Right, moving on from moaning. I was playing Kingdoms of Men. This is the last battle/tournament report you will see Kingdoms of Men in for quite some time, unless I'm playing some of the Kings of Men. This is the last of my Kings of Men. I've played them for a whole year. And this tournament, if you're interested, was my last chance to qualify for the UK Masters. Currently, at the time of this tournament, Andy Marshall, my nemesis, was top of Kingdoms of Men by 2 points. And I needed to come first in this tournament in order to steal his crown and be best Kingdoms of Men player and thereby qualify for Masters. How exciting. So last chance. This is my favourite Kingdoms of Men list I've got. I think after a year of playing them, this is about as perfect a Kingdoms of Men list as you can get, personally speaking, for me. I know a lot of people like more Beast Cavalry, more Generals. You're wrong. This is better, in my opinion. So, it's 2 regiments and a horde of Spear Phalanx. Spear Phalanx with pikes, so they have both Phalanx and Ensnare. You give them Indomitable Will for that once per game, fearless and inspired rule. I think this is the best infantry in the game for the price. It is obscenely well priced for what you get. It hits on 4. Defense 4 isn't great, but big old blocks of nerves. With Rally, these guys come up real nice. They're so cheap. Really, 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 really good. My favourite. A horde of foot guard. I think foot guard are very punchy. I think you can have too many of them. I think a horde of foot guard with brew of strength and double to will is a nasty, nasty unit to have to face. 275 points. It's expensive. Not as expensive as Beast Cavalry, which are like Dracons, but better. And I call them Dracons throughout the entire tournament report, probably. With Boots of Striding, because I think that's how they come, straight out of the bottom. You can have all the upgrades and Boots of Striding. Bam, nearly 300 points, but boy, they hit like a truck. 3 Ballistas. Ballistas, some of the best war machines in the game. They hit on a 4. They're 2 attacks, Blast D3, Piercing 2. Right, they're huge range, decent nerve. You cannot underestimate these. If you think about it, 2 attacks at Blast D3 times 3, right? So that could be 6 hits per war engine. You're talking about a maximum of 18 hits. That's going to just take anything off. You never get that, of course. You tend to get a couple of hits, but a couple of hits turns into a number of real hits from Blast every single turn, as long as you position them well. A giant with a giant cleaver, just a big old block of nerve there in the centre. He's great, big fan. A wizard with Bane Charm and the godsend of Veil of Shadows. You'll see why it's a godsend in a minute, but he's so cheap. And his little foot, bless him. I think wizards on Pegasuses are good, very good, but you don't really need them to be on a Pegasus. This list doesn't really need chaff in the same way as a wizard on Pegasus can provide. The captain on a horse. I've given him a command dice because this tournament is the first UK tournament to feature command dice. And I tell you, not to skip to the end of the tournament report, the end of game 3, but it went very well. Very few complaints. Everyone was kind of a fan. I know other people have had different experiences, and that's fine. Life is made up of different experiences. So he's speed 8, he's 30, he's got the same nerve as a regiment of spear phalanx on his own, which has 5, crush 1. He's just great, he's mighty, he's rallying, and he allows a redeploy, which is just clutch in certain situations. 2 generals on winged beasts. Obviously 3 is great, 2 is good. With this setup, this kind of this rollout, I think 2 is fine. And then the Outlaws, the most underrated formation in the game. Everyone mocks them for being rubbish. Let me tell you, boys and girls, they're amazing, and other genders. They are just wonderful. So good. Why are they so good, Steve? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, obviously their stats are awful, right? However, they are 8 attacks for each of the troops. They have volley fire and steady aim, which means they are generally always hitting on a 5, right? So you are getting a number of wounds each turn, right? Between 1 and 5, let's say. Comes with the Brigand, who's even cheaper than them. He hits on a 3 and a 4 and ranged, with his 4 attacks at piercing 1. Crush 1, he's inspiring. He also gets volley fire. As a package, it is bargain basement price for unit strength, reliable damage, units that need dealing with, chaff. Just so good. All right, I know I've gone on and on and on about it, but guys, if you haven't watched my recent reports and you don't get it by now, I despair of you. 16 units is a lot, 23 unit strength is okay. Let's look at my first game. So, of course, with command dice, Kings of Men just get exponentially better. They get some of the best in the game. So they get the Ferocious Charge special rule. This is for regiments. So my Spear Phalanx regiment. So particularly, you want to use it on this melee too. Shut up. No one cares, right? What it means is that my Spear Phalanx, these super cheaply priced, not very punchy units, go to melee 3. They become really good. What's more, my Outlaws go to melee 4 and become actually useful, right? Anyway, whatever. Precise Thruster, they also get Ordered March. I think it's just fantastic. On to game 1. Game 1, so I did the draw. I saw who I was up against. The Command Dice's number 1 enemy, Alistair. If you've been on the Kings of War Fanatics site, you'll know who I mean. And he's bought Elves, a brand new army that he's just printed and not bothered to paint. Cheers, Alistair. And it's horrific. I saw it and I'm like, I really want to cheat and move him to someone else. I didn't, because I'm not that kind of guy. So, against my relatively slow melee list, I have got flyers. And I have got Veil of Shadows. You see why I like it now? So, Alistair has bought the net list. 3 regiments of Kindred Gladestalkers. So with their Very reliable 24-inch shooting with elite and scout and pathfinder. Wow, so good. A horde of Therenian Sea Guard. People seem to like these. I don't like them. I think they're terrible. That's just my opinion. But he's given them Fireall because obviously Abyssals are our thing, just in case he faces Abyssals. They're only elite in melee 4+. Short. They're block nerve. It's basically a block nerve. It's a pretty pricey one though. And then you've got 3 regiments of Silver Breeze Cavalry. Silver Breeze Cavalry regiments are just so good. I think they're better than troops, in my opinion. Just my opinion. 14-16 nerve, 18-inch elite steady aim shooting with speed 10. Just gives you this 28-inch range, basically, anywhere on the board. A lot of unit strength, so that's pretty scary. Quicksilver Lancers with Brewer's Strength. So these are very, very punchy. Very, very punchy. Only 16 attacks. But a good nerve now. Again, speed 9 is so good. A horde of Drakon Riders with Boots of Striding. They're exactly the same as Beast Cavalry, but not as good. Well, they get Elite and we get Vicious. And I've got Double to Will and you haven't, so sucks to be you. You, however, have got Madrigal. I thought he had... what's his... Oh, no, that's... okay. He didn't take... what's he called? The guy on you know... There's the character you can take, which gives... He is inspiring and gives inspiring. In the elf list. Do you know the one I mean? See if I can find him. He is called... Argus Rodnar. He hasn't got Argus Rodnar. I love Argus Rodnar. I think he's better than Madrigal for the points. Anyway, just my opinion. Just my opinion. So Madrigal, he's got a blue command dice for extra command dice. Madrigal's got this pointless trick shot that no one uses because why would you when you have 4 shots at piercing 2, 24 inches, right? So good. He's just a great little character. A little bit expensive, but very good. Plus he's range 3. Ooh. And then 2 war chariots, both with short bows. One's got the blade of slashing for a repeat. Why does a blade of slashing allow you to re-roll a hit with your bow? Makes no sense. But again, speed 8, you know, melee 3, range 4, they're 12, 14 nerve, and they're 2 sources of inspiring. So inspiring everywhere, doesn't really need Argus Rodnar. And it is a absolutely devastating shooting list. Shooting, 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 melee, melee, shooting, 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 right? This is going to be difficult. The elf rules are perfect flight for an additional 6 inches. I'm not sure he uses this because I just allow him to come in as close as he likes all the time. And precise thrust, he uses this a lot. Ordered march. This is particularly good because it applies to cavalry. And of course he has these speed 9 cavalry, which means they can go 18 inches and turn twice because they're nimble thanks to Quicksilver Lancers. Which means they're very hard to pin down, as you will see. Here's the terrain. So, here's his ghostly elf list, which is printed and undercoated. So, this is our board. We have a hill and a hill. They're height 3. We have a forest and a forest at height 9. Blocking and blocking at height 9. Difficult and difficult at height... doesn't come up, but I want to say height 1. And then a wall and a wall at height 2. Very, very, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And we're playing control, so I'm sure you know, but if you don't, control is a scenario where you split the board into 6 segments, like yay! Your opponent's center segment is worth 2 to you, and it's worth 1 to them, and everything else is worth 1, so a maximum 7 points. Obviously, this is reversed if you are on the other side, so this is worth 2 and this is worth 1. Okay, that's control, and this is how we ended up deploying. So, yeah. So, I was pretty pleased about how deployment went. I think I did redeploy this horde with the captain's redeploy. And I might have redeployed a general or something as well. I might have redeployed the captain. So I deployed, I think, down here to start with. And then I redeployed everything over here because Alistair put down all 3 of his Silver Breeze here. This is one of the chariots, right? So these are the Silver Breeze, against which they are facing off against the Outlaws. This is like, I'm like, guys, I love you, but you're going to die. The Outlaws is also a general long-winged beast down here, okay? We have my Spear Phalanx, who are going to go and sit in this forest and wait to die. These are Threnian Sea Guard. Here's 3 Gladestalkers. So he deployed all this, and I was like, cool. And I deployed everything else over here, behind the hill and behind this building, because I'm a coward and I don't want to die. So against that, he's got just one shooter, which is this chariot. These are obviously his Dracons. These are the Stormwind, right? And I've got, I've got regiment. So these are regiments of spear phalanx. That's the horde of foot guard. There's my giant. There's a wizard. That's the captain, which is actually first edition Mikhail, if you're interested, from Twilight Kin. And because I couldn't be bothered to paint the captains by last game with Kinsman. And there's another general there. And then we have a 3 ballista here, right? So nice clear field for the ballistas to have, if you'll forgive me, a field day. Anyway. So yeah, that's just showing you my general. Someone else is playing Kinsmen next to me. Oh no, they're not playing halflings. There's the brigand and the outlaws. Yep, there's my guys. Oh, and there's the Dracons. My Dracons, my beast cavalry. My beast cavalry are here behind my general beast. So I've deployed massively heavily here. I don't want to be shot. All the shooting's over there, so I can survive the first couple of turns without being shot too badly. He scouts up his Gladestalkers like yay. Just pushes them forward into the woods. Of course he can, and he gets first turn, which is the thing. Control, taking second turn is okay in control. It's one of the few scenarios I think where it can benefit you. In this case, Alistair won anyway. He took first because he wanted to move up and shoot the living smeg out of me. So he's moved up, and I'm not sure about this. Right, I think this is a mistake. He's done it because he's worried about my 20-inch flyer. I get it. That makes sense. No, so actually, I do agree with it. I ignore what I just said. This is great. Assuming they're all within bow shot, with 18 inches of my general. Actually, they wouldn't be, would they? Right, so I don't agree with it. If I was him, I would have put them all up on the hill within 18 inches, and I would have loaded all, 36? No, 42 shots. 14, 28. This is me counting live. Welcome. 42 shots, and his shots as well. So all 46 shots into the general. I would have just unloaded into him. And if general survived, sure, he could have charged one of them, but instead he's I think he's stayed out. We'll see. Maybe he's done better than I. These guys moved like this, so we have got a Gladestalker to shoot at me. Not really that worried on this turn. These guys are going to be shooting, I don't know what, something over here. Here's Madriga, by the way. And these guys have kind of moved up a little bit carefully, keeping a nice united front. Probably within 20 of him, but not of the Dracons, I would imagine. Maybe they're not within 20. That looks like slightly out. Yeah, so that's Gladestalkers shooting at Dracons for a point. Wow. That's double Gladestalkers into a blister for 5 wounds. And I think that's Madriga and the... what are they called? Brain's gone. The Sea Guard, that's what they're called, into him. So, wow, Ballista took some heavy damage this turn. We took 2 wounds there from something. And yeah, he did unload a fair amount into my general, who took 8 wounds, very painful, and wavered. And that's just what happens. Generals just get smegged, don't they? What's more, both Ballista off. So, spectacular turn from Alistair. That's what you get for shooting. You get shot. Here's my first command dice roll. Good job, me. 3 command dice. Wow. And that's what Outlaws do. So the Outlaws focus fired on one of the Silver Breeze, 5 wounds, which is great. That's the other Ballista, 1 wound onto his Gladestalkers. And I think I used my command dice to undo a wound. And all I do is I push forward, very cowardly. I'm not sure why I haven't taken a photograph of it, but basically I pushed forward very cowardly, shielding myself. So shielding all the important stuff from his flyer and his fast cavalry, right? I've taken a wound off here, and I've gone an extra dice for accuracy on my Veil of Shadows. Okay? And everything else is pushed forward. And there we go, into Alistair's turn 2. Why is there a dice with a 3 on it here? Anyone know? I don't know. Oh, that's Alistair's command dice. There you go. So that's I pushed forward pretty aggressively, I'm going to say. Pretty hard, because with shooting, my whole strategy here, I forgot to talk about my strategy, apologies. These guys are going to spend as many turns as possible messing up with outlaws. Just making them wait. All his power is there, right? These Gladestalkers being here is great for me. Don't care about this. They're going to have to spend a lot of time shooting this horde off because these guys can't hurt them in combat. They're going to have to try and shoot me off. I'm in cover. I've got a huge nerve. I am uninspired, but I've got indomitable will. So what I'm trying to do is push forward super hard here, smash this, and then wrap around, right? And then use my fast stuff to come and try and pick things off. They can't shoot this off too quickly, and then I want to take kind of these sections, right? With 2, 1, and 1, which gives me a win. That's my strategy. So that's why I push forward so hard here. So in response, he just comes as hard as he can forward. So I think I was wavered here, which is why I've pushed backwards here. I pushed these guys forward, right? I've just said, go on then, you want some outlaws? Have a go at some outlaws. And delightfully, he's taken the bait. 911 nerve is not to be sniffed at when you're inspired. I don't think this guy on his own is going to do it. He has brought these guys up to shoot, which is the right thing to do. But the way he's put it is if he doesn't shoot this off and this off, he's going to get charged by something. And there's a character who can also charge, so he's come a little bit close, expecting this thing to die. He's come this close really because he's out of my charge range, right? He can't be seen here. I get it. On this side, so he's turned these guys around. They need to deal with that horde that's there. Brilliant. Exactly what I want him to do. I'm delighted. Everyone here is backed off because they're cowards. Cowards! Got a flanking threat from the Gladestalkers here. So that's a nice move. I like that one. Yeah, another wound. Another wound from the Gladestalkers onto my Beast Cavalry. Oof! Oof! So I've gone from 8 to 15 wounds from the old Silverbreeze there, and 4 wounds onto these guys. That's very survivable. 4 wounds on a 911 unit. Yeah, obviously he didn't survive, and we wavered here. So that's not so great, but we're still alive, which means he's going to have to commit some resource to kill them next turn. At least one of those very expensive units, which I like. Then we have... that's the same thing twice. Good. Only 2 wounds from the chariot. That's not great, is it? And they don't get wavered. They are, in fact, just fine. So into my turn 2. So we go in. So there was a little bit of positioning here that I was delighted about. So I looked at some measuring and, in the heat of the moment, so he's positioned, this unit is like this one is like this, and this one is like this, right? You can see the angles. You can see my little marker here basically showing that if I charge these Drakons, they are Drakons, with my general, as you can see, I cannot be seen by this unit. That's brilliant. Delighted. That allows me then to charge with my Drakon, my Beast Cavalry, apologies. It's going to be confusing, isn't it? Using my Beast Cavalry into these Gladestalkers. If I use my Boots of Striding, I'm hoping to kill them, which means I've got lovely rears here. And also, can't be seen, right? So, just some little positioning errors. My phalanx units are up onto the hill. These cavalry do not want to charge these guys, and I've got my giant and my foot guard in the rear, right, bringing up the rear. So this is a very strong position, particularly if I put Veil of Shadows here. Madrigal is feeling a little bit useless, right? And the captain has whistled around here because he is another kind of chaotic piece against Gladestalkers. Gladestalkers really, they're good in combat, but they're better at shooting. Yeah, I'd say so. They're more useful at shooting, right? As soon as he charges one of them, they're going to spend a couple of turns trying to chew through him, and they can't shoot anything, which is what Alistair wants to do. So again, we've got a Veil of Shadows, command dice for accuracy here. We've got 2 wound, 2 here. What have we got 2 for? 2 for what? That's interesting. Recover a wound. I've recovered a wound off my Beast Cavalry. There you go. So I've only rolled 3 command dice again, but really happy with that. I think that's exactly where I want to be. I'm over here. Obviously, I've countercharged here, and I've used 3. What have I? 3. Oh my god! I rolled loads. I rolled 6 command dice this turn. 3, 3, 3. I've got my command. Oh, I happen to have a command dice sheet right next to me. How convenient. Tactical retreat, channel power, fast spell. Who knows? I think I just used it for reroll 1 wound. To be honest, there's nothing else I wanted to use, so I just did. Oh no, I know. Yeah, no, I couldn't use the 4. Yeah, that's what I've done. Reroll 1 wound. And you can see over the right here, the Brigand has charged into this unit. Obviously, I've got a wavered unit here, but I've turned so that one of these has to deal with me. The Brigand is taking on this one, so now I'm occupying 2 Silver Breeze units, plus his hero. So really happy with that. I smashed it. That was incredible, really. Don't forget, this is the unit. So the reason I did this, if we try and skip back to show it, because I can't remember how many wounds they did. But that Silver Breeze unit took some damage, took 5 damage from shooting. Right, so that was from the Outlaws and probably one of the Ballista. So 5 damage from shooting. And you can see that the Brigand did 2 damage, which put them to 7, and then I rolled a waver. So that is just the best possible outcome for them. Wavering there, can't be seen by this unit. I can imagine that was pretty annoying. Sometimes the dice just love you, right? So these Outlaws countercharging with their 1 reroll did 1 point of damage, and I rolled a double 6. So annoying. Yeah, so I wavered the Chariot. Totally irritating. Oh, boys. Yeah, and we deleted that unit, so that's superb. Superb. Things are going well. We turn like this. So now we have Beast Cavalry facing down the back of Glade Stalkers. Nothing can see them. Really happy. I think I did like 2 wounds there. Doesn't matter. It's just holding them off. So, Alistair rolled 8 command dice. Woof. For his turn 3. So this is how the board looks. So at the minute it's going okay. He's still got a lot of power. This unit is a little bit muffled. What's the word? I don't know. Muted, right? Can't do what it needs to do. These guys are kind of in a bad place. There is now 9 wounds here for 2 turns of shooting, but they need to at least... Unlikely to die this turn, but probably the turn after. A lot of points being committed to that. This is being held up by a ludicrously small amount of points over here. Alright, so this was a good move, I think. So these are the Silver Breeze on the left-hand side. So if let's go back... Whoops, that's a good shot. These ones. Okay, so looking at this mess... They thought, this is a bad place to be. This is a better place to be, right? So they're within 18. Take out this annoying Ballista. Face the rear of these guys. Seems solid. Right. Good move. And then on the other ones, I've said, well, I've stopped messing with Outlaws. That's annoying. Let's go face the flank of this unit, right? Let's sort out this unit once and for all. Let's throw some arrows into it. This is back on the other. So then, obviously, waver, these guys just can't do anything. So he's just kind of giving up on them, which is fair. So faced against 2 phalanx units, the cavalry went, no thanks. I don't think we want to play with that. And they backed up and turned because they can do that, because they're nimble. Counter-charge into the general. The chariot charged these spear phalanx, because chariots don't get affected by phalanx, just by ensnare. And these units just turned around. They don't really have a choice. Backed up the Sea Guard out of my charge range, which is annoying. So yeah, that's what we did. What he did, rather. And this is his side, so wave, or run away. Yeah, so we went from 9 to... So with the extra kind of reinforcement from some shooting here. So these are just Sea Guard and Silver Breeze. They went from 9 up to 15 wounds, which is a lot when you are a 21, 23, I want to say. And I did not use my Indomitable Will last turn when I should have done. Didn't think about it. See how that happens. This is me showing that I'm garbage, and I'm out of Veil of Shadows range for my Dracons. Good job. And so 5 wounds. They took 5 wounds. 2 Glade Stalkers shot them without cover. 5 wounds is, you know, it's... I think I got off lightly. Wavered. Ah, dude, the best possible outcome. So I didn't die. What would he need if it is a 23? 15 to 23. It's an 8. An 8 once. Yeah, it looks like he's rolled a 7 or a 6 here, which is great. We love a waver with Indomitable Will. 7 wounds onto my general, not enough to kill him. Yeah, only crushed 1 now, aren't we? No Bane Chart in that list. On to turn 3 for me. Oh yes, obviously. The War Machine died in lots of squishy War Machine pieces. So yeah, so in my turn 3. So another charge and a flank charge from Outlaws here. How exciting. The brigand carries on playing with Silver Breeze. Over here, so we're going to die next turn, right? So we take a hindered rear charge into the back of these Gladestalkers. Delicious. I think it's the first rear charge with a horde that I've done in my entire year of playing Kings of Men. 75 dice, 5s and 3s. Let's go. Drakons took this charge. Beast Cavalry took this charge. And then we ran the giant forward and we took the horde of foot guard and the regiment into this chariot. I've positioned the giant to try and make sure that this unit cannot get away. It's slippery as hell because it's got that ordered march nightmare and he's got blue command dice extra. So I can imagine it's going to come down here. I tried to make it so it couldn't anyway. The other spear phalanx came off the hill to join the general onto these actual Drakons. Here's my command dice having a lovely time. So I've got 4 command dice. Ah, yes, I believe I made this unit hit on 3s. Hooray for ferocious charge. And we smashed up some Drakons and turned like this, basically protecting my general on Winged Beast from these cavalry and offering them a phalanx unit to charge. I just want to do that. And of course we murdered that one. So all the Gladestalkers are down now. Result. Massive, massive result. Really, really happy. Offering a flank here, but then you're going to get Draconed. I should think he'd want to shoot there instead. Let's see. And what's more, we smashed up the chariot. So this side is now looking very secure. It's got this one slippery unit to pin down. Surely, he says leadingly, surely with 4 units and this captain, we can lock down 1 unit of cavalry. Anyway. So we do 4 more wounds from these enormous amount of attacks. Where's it? 8, 16, 24 attacks on 5s and 5s. I think 4 wounds was frankly very lucky. He's wavered again anyway, so boo-hoo to you. And the Brigand, the MVP of this match. Do you understand now why I love the Outlaws? I may have said 3 or 4 times. Do you get it? They're just brilliant. So they have held up a huge amount of his army. The Brigand on his own has killed a Silver Breeze unit. They're going to kill this guy. Points earned. Anyway, into turn 4. So obviously this unit, it just shifts sideways because Alistair is thinking about the scenario, which is surprising for me. I don't think about the scenario at all. You're going to hold this section for 2 points. That's his plan because this horde's going to die. Woo. So the Sea Guard decide not to shoot the Drakons. They charge them. They do hit on a 4, but then they're on a 5. Ooh. So it attacks. I suppose Phalanx is really helpful for a Drakon unit. They don't want to be facing a Phalanx unit at all. We'll probably die now, and I don't think we'll like it. That's annoying, isn't it? This is really bloody annoying. I should have turned the horde this way. I really should have, and I didn't. So, hence my leading question. Ordered march. Boing! Down they came. Let's see how they were facing. Did Alistair cheat? Yes. He did. Oh no, he's got 2 turns. He didn't. Sorry, Alistair. I apologise. Turned once. 18 inches. Turned twice. Ordered march is great. Ah, this is the state of the board. So in a pretty good place. Yeah, happy. So that's the shooting. So it puts them up to 20 wounds and they disappear. And then a waver onto my general from Madrigal. Go Madrigal with your 1 wound and a waver. Yeah, horde dies. And the Drakons die. Beast Cavalry. Beast Cavalry die. 9 wounds is pretty good. There's actually only 4 wounds. So not good, but enough. They still die. 9 on 2. What was a 16-18. So he rolled an 8 twice. It's pretty sexy. And they back up. I think that's me. This must be my turn 4, right? So into my turn 4. So obviously we all charge this little guy on a chariot. The captain nobly sacrifices himself. He's hitting on a 4. Phalanx, just Phalanx. We brought up this this unit to support. Veil of Shadows with an accuracy dice. This is a reroll a hit. This is a remove a wound. Backed up here, and I've turned because that's right. This unit's job now is just to hold this quarter. We are trying to track down this unit, so the giants come round. There's no way you can get up here. I've turned like this, so you can either charge one of these units you definitely can't kill, or you can sod off. I measured, guys, I measured. Celebrity shoe. Sorry. I measured. I did not measure well enough. I measured my arc and my range as 10. I thought, you can't get out of that range. Don't wish to spoil the next turn, but he does. Yeah, that's my hit roll. 5 hits. I miss all of them because I'm hitting on a 4. Boo-hoo. That's me moaning about dice photographically. So into Alistair's turn 5. This is how he's looking. And I looked at the board and I looked at him and I said, it's going to be a draw. And he said, is it? And I said, yes. Let's see if I am prescient and correct. Because I think he's going to get my 2. I'm going to get his 2. And then I'll get these 2 and he'll get this one. So it'll be, and he'll get this one. So yeah, it's going to be a draw. Let's see. So the Silverbreeze turn round because they want to shoot outlaws off. We've got lots of wounds on us, so it's probably going to die. Very sad. Madrigal backs off because he's a coward. He's going to try and shoot my general. Yeah. I measured to here. This is obviously outside of 10. Boing! He go this way. I just assumed he was going to go this way. I'm stupid. That's Seaguard shooting, I guess, spear phalanx. Not very successfully. Wow! The Silverbreeze hate outlaws. Oh, Jesus. Everyone's got wounds. Everyone dies. Wavered again. 10 wounds and another waver. Boo-hoo. Brigand very lonely now. My turn 5. This is how we're looking on this side. So I move up here. Again, I think I measure for 18. He can just come here. Will he? No. Giant's coming around because the giant wants to come in and save the day. We're probably going to die. We've got Veil of Shadows going off. These guys are coming up to try and claim this section because 3 and 3 beats 4. And I charge these Silverbreeze in the rear just because I can. The Brigand shoots, I think, these guys. Yep. Recover a wound. Extra dice for Veil of Shadows. Brigand does 3 wounds from shooting. Bada big bada boom. And I do. What do I kill? What? What's that? Why am I doing that? Obviously we're speeding along now. So this must be Alistair's turn 6. So he shoots these guys. He shoots off that guy. It is his turn 6, thank you. But let's just take a quick look at the board state at turn 6, right? So this is my turn 6. So section-wise, right, we're like this, I want to say, probably. I get this one for 2. I get this one for 1, and I get this one for 1. Okay? Alistair gets my one for 2, because these guys are halfway. He gets this one for 1 and this one for 1. It's a draw at the beginning of my turn 6. Okay? I can't kill this. Too much nerve. Can't kill this because it's just too bloody fast. Can't kill this because I've nothing to shoot it with. My captain has charged this Silverbreeze unit that has 3 wounds. I just need to kill this Silverbreeze unit to win. This is the whole game. This combat. Okay? That's telling you there is a turn 7 a little bit early. Because I only did 2 wounds. And I didn't kill them. Really sad. Turn 7 turns. So I'm like, it's a draw. Let's roll for turn 7. And there is a turn 7. And we look at each other and I'm like, ooh, I think I can get you. All he needs to do is kill this unit to win. Now, right, high stakes, guys. Because if he kills that unit, he's 4-3. These guys get, here's came this one, right? And that it becomes irrelevant, I think, because then I've got 1, 2, and he's got 1, 2, 3, right? High stakes gameplay. So, rather than shoot into cover with Veil of Shadows, he charges. Like that. Ooh! This is actually at the end of his turn, because you will notice these guys have run off. He charges and does no wounds because he's running into ensnare in cover. I think he should have shot me. Oh no, actually thinking about it, if he shoots into cover with Veil of Shadows, he's on 7s. Whereas if he charges, he's on 6s. So this makes sense, right? So, he doesn't do any wounds. Spectacular. It's my go. The captain is charged. This unit's come in here. He's charged him in the back. So there are 13, 15. I think, well, they're 14, 16. 14, 16, aren't they? Silver Breeze. Cavalry. Which is it's a pretty meaty nerve, isn't it? 14, 16, I think. I'm going to say, that's too much nerve. Maybe it's not. Silver Breeze Cavalry, 14, 16. So, I've on 5 wounds, Captain's got 5 attacks. 3s and 3s, because he's crushed 1. I think that's really doable. Right? Put them up to 7, 8 wounds. Just need to roll an 8 once. I'm stringing this out for tension. Are you feeling the tension? Well, there you go. There's the tension. I do 2 wounds. And I roll an 8. So, yeah. 1 away. 1 away! 1 away from winning. What a great game. Wow. Spectacular. Yeah, so that's the end of the game. Boo-hoo! So it is it's a draw. Alice and I have played, I want to say, 3 times now? 3 times. First time he beat me. It was Ogres versus Goblins. I was playing Goblins. Gungans. Second time was his Abyssals. It was all Tortured Souls against this list. Not this list, but a version of this list. And this one, a ranged nightmare. I'm really proud of how well I did against this list. A draw is absolutely fine. We were both relatively happy with that. I think I'm his nemesis now. What a great game. So cool. That was the end of game 1. Hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. I was exhausted from thinking. And well, you'll see me in a couple of days, maybe, for game 2 of the tournament, which is against Jed's Kings of Men. Another man-off. Man-on-man action. My last man-on-man action. Come back soon. And we'll see you next time on Death by Dragons.